Koinange, live at the Villa Rosa Kempinski. Tweets coming in very thick, very fast, especially when it concerns us as Kenyans and the way forward. And my guest today, Ken Njiru of the Uungwana Initiative. This man's been at it for the last decade and a half. He hasn't given up. In fact, people like Stanley Kamau, Jigaman, Stanley Kamau says, Happy New Year, wish Ken happy birthday.
Thank you.
Now, happy birthday.
Asante.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. And they should keep doing what he's doing as Uungwana.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Jiga campaign.
Yeah, the Jiga campaign.
And people in denial.
Yeah. I remember Kamoda asking, Jigas? Which Jigas? There are no Jigas in Moranga.
Can you imagine? And Stanley's from Moranga, by the way.
Yeah.
Goodness
and all of a sudden you discover all the Jigas.
Why are we in such denial, Ken? I mean, what is it about us?
Well, like I said, it's not genetic. It's cultural. And you know, the question you just asked, how do we get out of this? In my mind, I am clear. And there is a program we're running, and we're going to launch it very soon. We call it the Uungwana 2030 program. And what we're saying is that each and every Kenyan must basically arise. You know, the national anthem tells us each and every one of us to arise and to be strong and true.
Let all and one arise.
Yeah, let all and one arise. It doesn't say just all. Let all and one arise with hearts both strong and true.
Yes.
It is that general transformation that we need to drive. We need a behavior and culture change. We need to talk to ourselves as individuals. We need to have the conversation of about the shenzi things that we're doing that we need to stop doing. We need to look at the Uungwana things that we're doing that we need to reinforce, and we need to ask ourselves, what are those leapfrogging type of things that we need to do to be able to take ourselves to the moon? Because if you don't think big, if you continue thinking small, then you stay small. But if you think big, if you think you can go and believe you can go to the moon, then you go to the moon. And so for me, this year is about igniting that campaign across the board, and it will basically run through all institutions, all sectors, and communities, right down to the grassroots.
Ken, are there any sacred cows in this? Any sacred cows? Because when we talk about corruption, let's say, corruption, every week there's a scandal. Every week we come up and say, oh, this, oh, that, and then we get hammered left, right, and center for talking about them.
You know, Jeff, first of all, some of us negate the corruption war by approaching it from a mobocracy perspective.
Mob justice.
Mobocracy.
Yes.
You know, some of us think we are Democrats, but we are mobocrats. We mob people. All right, and in mobbing people, it is not so much about that corruption, but it's about gaining mileage. So we mob you, and when I cannot milk anything from you, I mob another person, and you continue just mobbing people. And the sad part about this thing is that the people who are then mobbed, we never get to know whether they are actually innocent or guilty, because as soon as you've gotten enough mileage, then you move on and start mobbing somebody else. You see, it is important, by the way, if we're going to fight corruption in this country, to build a culture. And when I talk about culture change, I'm talking about a change, for instance, in terms of the way we treat the legal order. If somebody has stolen from us, let's not even call him corrupt, he's a thief. And by the way, my heart bleeds when I think that there are people who wake up, government officials, every day to go and steal for us. But there's a policeman who wakes up every day telling himself, today I'm going to make sure I stop 1,000 matatus, and they're going to give me 50 shillings in, forgetting that some of those matatus are going to kill people because they are not roadworthy. And the story goes on across the board. All right, there are doctors who will watch people dying, despite the fact that he has taken a hypocritical oath that says his role is to protect lives. But why is he watching that guy die? Because he does not have money. He cannot pay him consultancy fee of 3,000-4,000 shillings. That is ushenzi. There are teachers who we take our kids to, and we are hoping that they will put some education into them, but they end up impregnating them. I mean, Jeff, think about what is happening in this country. Every time you open newspapers, young kids in universities, drinking, having sex in buses, and that we will never talk about.
No.
In fact, to our leaders, that is not a crisis.
No,
it's not a crisis.
No, we leave that away.
We leave that away. But how then? What type of nation shall we have? If we do not care about posterity, why should we even elect you? Did you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, this country, by the way, is the fourth largest country with the highest incidence of HIV/AIDS.
Can you imagine?
Fourth.
And they mentioned that like on the back page of a newspaper.
By the way, it just passes. It just passes. But you know why? Because even our leaders are behaving badly.
Ushenzi.
You find leaders, somebody's an MP or a senator with a 15, 16-year-old girl. And we think it is okay.
Yeah.
And by the way, some of us will even elect him because he is Jogo.
Correct.
Ushenzi. And these things must be challenged. You know, I have come to appreciate, and I like, you know, the whole question of going back to our culture, the question of respecting our elders, the question of, you know, some of the things we used to do coming back to the forefront. Do you know, Jeff, and I've started understanding why that is important. Do you know, in all African societies, you would never be elected if your homestead was in shutters?
No.
You would never be elected.
No way.
All right? So that if you're a monogamist or you're a polygamist, your home had to be stable. You're taking care of your kids, you're taking them to school, or you're treating them the way they are eating. But we have people who are calling themselves leaders, who even nyumba yao imechomeka na anajiita kiongozi, anavaa suit kutoka Italy
Na watoto wako
na anapeleka gari kutoka Uingereza.
Bas.
Ushenzi.
Total.
And we must start judging them on the basis of things like that.
Ken, when you and I were growing up, and you went to Lenana, right?
Yes.
And you went to
Alliance.
Look at you. Did that help?
It helped.
Did that help us?
It helped us.
So where did we go wrong?
You see, let me put it this way. I think, first of all, you and I, and by you and I, I'm talking about our generation.
Correct.
We need to take a lot of flack. Kulegeza kamba. Today, Jeff, there are many parents of our generation who will not tell their children they are doing something wrong because you don't want your children to hate you.
Right. Because they'll start abusing you. They'll get on their phone.
They'll start crying. You know, I remember when I was young. Yeah. If I ever told my mother I'm going to hang myself, she would give me a kamba. Go and hang yourself.
She'd do that.
And she'd bring all the kambas in the house. Go and hang yourself. And she tells you, we'll just bury you. Today, if your daughter says she's going to hang you start shaking. Oh my dear, oh my dear. You want to change schools? You even change schools.
You're calling KTN.
You're calling KTN. Oh, my mother would beat the hell out of you.
Yes, yes.
And until today, I feel her.
Right.
And you know what happens, Jeff? When then we parent kids like this, when they grow up, they blame us.
Yeah. They do.
You know, what is very interesting is, you know, I go to talk to schools. And of course, you know, I have to make a living, you know, doing what I do.
Correct.
So sometimes you'll tell parents, for what we are doing, we have an institute to run, we charge 500 shillings a child. And by the way, we sometimes, for schools that can't afford, we give it for free. But for schools that can afford, we'll ask for a measly 500 shillings.
Yes.
They will not pay you. But they will take 2,000 shillings and go and pay for cinemas.
Yes. Yes.
And buy them hamburgers. But for things that will help those children, they will not pay.
They'll buy them a cell phone.
Just in case they make Ken Njiru rich. It's the crab mentality.
The crab. The crab.
We'll pay for rubbish.
Garbage in,
garbage out. And I'm challenging parents, and most of our generation, that we have lost it. You know, I hear people saying children of these days, there's nothing like children of these days. There's only parents of these days. Children are like this glass. What you put in is what you get out. So when children are having sex in buses, is what the parents have put in, one way or another.
Yes. When they go to Masako 7s.
You find parents watching funny programs with their children. I remember, you remember when you grew up, there was Mamboleo. In fact, after cartoons, there was no TV.
Not watch.
TV was for grown-ups.
Even Barnaby Jones. What? Can you imagine?
You couldn't watch. And I'm not saying we become, tyrants.
No.
But I'm saying that we cannot.
We had values.
We cannot just let children be watching whatever they want to watch, surfing whatever they want to surf, and then running our lives. I must eat this. I must do that. My mother, if she cooked food and you said you are.
I'm going to hang myself.
I'm telling you, you hang yourself. Go and hang yourself. And you never did. These ones were bembelezing not to hang themselves. Hang themselves.
Can we turn this around?
We can turn that around. You know, I constantly say we are fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yeah.
We have everything it takes to become great people. And it doesn't matter whether you're poor or rich. It doesn't matter what your circumstances are. You can click on the switch.
Yes.
It's a consciousness thing. You know, and I will use that example again because I think it's the best example I've ever found. One of individual effort and a conviction that I can be, and two of teamwork. The Kenyan athlete, my friend.
Oh.
Hata kizungu ajui kama sisi. They can't even speak.
No.
You know when they win. In fact, at the time I was training the Elgeyo Marakwet team,
Yes.
I told them my version of what I have had when they win. You know, they say they asked by the
American correspondent.
So
yeah.
how did we do it?
Yeah.
And they say, I ran and by court, I won. And then they told me there's another one. They asked, how did you do it? And then they say, I look behind, no people. That's how he won. He ran and he looked behind, no people. And that's how he won.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's
we are wonderfully made.
We are wonderfully made, and we have everything. I mean, we are the teachers, we are the lawyers, we are the doctors, we are the politicians, we are the matatu touts. Uungwana, we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
All we have to do is just step up. And by the way, like I said, Uungwana is not a revelation.
No.
We know it. We know what is right.
Can we do it in 17? Can we? I mean, the election. I mean, it's not good to talk about the elections a year and a half away, but people have been talking about it anyway. So, can we do it as early as 17?
We can do it now. All we have to do is to decide, make a decision, and that decision must be based on our, on our understanding that we are great human beings and that we should be doing what is right. I don't know. You keep saying every time you see people overlapping, and sometimes you think you want to overlap and
yes.
you remember and you say it's Mushenzi, and when you stay in line you feel good about it.
Well, yeah, I do, but I'm in line for the next 15 minutes.
But you feel good about it. And if you continue doing that and somebody else continues doing that, then let me tell you something very interesting. I would want you to follow Mushenzi in Kenya. The minute he lands in the UK, he's straight.
Follows the rules.
He follows the rules. And that is why the law must be implemented.
Yeah.
To the latter.
Actually, we have no sympathy.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jeff. Happy birthday.
Oh my God.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Come.
Happy birthday, dear Jeff. Happy birthday.
You guys have been in my show.
You now. How old are you now? Happy birthday, dear Jeff. Happy birthday to you.
And Ken as well, and Ken.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ken. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow.
On behalf of the entire Team JKM, we want to wish you a very happy birthday. Blessings and keep blessing.
Oh, you guys, man. Okay, get off my set. Get off my set.
Villarosa Kempinski.
Jeff, on behalf of management and staff of Villarosa Kempinski, we wish you a happy birthday, and we want to take you away to Olare Masai Mara Kempinski.
Oh my!
2 nights for 2.
Are you serious?
Very serious, Jeff.
Oh, you guys, man.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, dear Jeff. Happy birthday, dear Jeff.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Jeff.
Keki tukule sasa. Kata keki tukule sasa. Kata keki. Kata keki tukule sasa.
Ngoja tumeboeka.
Tumengoja tumeboeka.
Tumengoja
sana.
Tumengoja
Sana tumengoja tumeboeka.
Kata keki uwe Muungwana.
Kata keki uwe Muungwana. Kata keki kata keki uwe Muungwana.
All right. Thank you.
I don't even know if we're still on air. Are we still there? Is this Barry? you, brother. Thank you so much, man. Larry Kane. Jalano. From Brazil. Jalano, have you learned to speak English? Yes, sir.
Jalangs.
Patrick Jabbar. Good to see you. I'm very happy there. Kim Murillo. You made it? Speaking of 50. Oh, are we still on there? We're still on there. Tukule Keki. Yo, what up, G? Oh, God damn, man. Hey. Rocky's here? Rocky's here. Is he sober?
Hey, asante.
Larry Mattello. Oh, man.
Well, now you know how to say my name.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm too good about this. I'm 59, but now. When you're 50, I'll come to yours, okay?
Did you say 50 or 150?
Oh, my God. Larry, when are you going to be 50? 50 years to come. Okay, have a cake, guys. Eat the cake. No, give it to cake. Give it to Uncle Ken.
Okay. Thank you.
What we talk about? Did you have a show? It's still trending. Okay, eat the cake. Give everybody cake, baby. Give everybody cake.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, Ken.
Yeah.
Good to see you, man.
It's a pleasure.
I don't know what to say.
Well,
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Ken,
Hey,
give me a t-shirt.
You know,
How many t-shirts do you have,
at this
man?
rate, I'm going to start a shop. I'll give you commissions.
That's a good shirt, man.
Yeah. That's a good shirt.
Nice to see you, Ken. Happy birthday, man.
We got you there.
Thank you, everybody.
We got you there.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, we got you.
That's a surprise, man. Are you doing selfies as I'm talking? Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sonny.
Okay, hold this.
Love you. Okay, guys. You're in the way.
All right.
Next week, new show, new week, new guest, new theme, same place, same time.
Keep it Uungwana.
Make sure you come back to JKL here at the Villa Rosa Kempinski. Oh my! I'll say that again. Oh my!
Wow.
Thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate it, man.